Derivatives has been a narrative that's been kind of floated around for a while when it comes to XRP because of the number behind the derivatives market, but also what it could mean for the value of XRP. And in this video, I actually want to talk about how things are aligning perfectly for the derivatives market to finally move on chain and why I believe that, XRP, with the help of course, Ripple, is at the forefront of this. So with that being said, welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. So let's dive on in and let's actually start off with this post here going all the way back to 2023, where we have Chad Steingraber saying, then 3 major financial trade associations joined Project Guardian, ICMA, ISDA, and the GFMA for tokenization on public blockchains. Now, during this time, right, because this is like roughly 2024, this is like June of 2024 with Project Guardian. This is with some like of the biggest names out there in terms of the banking and financial space. The focus here was the ISDA, because if you guys do remember, yes, Ripple did join the ISDA, and this was quoted as claims a share of the $1.2 quadrillion derivatives market, because that's how big the derivatives market actually is. 1.2 quadrillion. I think now it actually might be well over 1.2 quadrillion, but again, nobody actually knows the full-on value of this space because it's not transparent. It's not an efficient market to fully track. That's why they say like the notional value could be upwards of like 700 trillion. We don't know the exact number, but regardless, as we do really look at this standing shoulder to shoulder with financial titans spot in this article, we have this pivotal move isn't just a small leap for Ripple, it's a giant stride into an exclusive realm. Ripple now stands alongside industry giants like JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, CME Group, and also BNY Mellon. Being in the same league as these heavyweights reflects Ripple's emerging dominance in the global financial sector. So yeah, we thought this was a very significant move, especially happening right around the same exact time that we heard XRP is not a security in the court of law. It just felt very, odd, because just a couple days prior to this, we also got Ripple joining the CPMI group, which was with the BIS, the Central Bank of Central Banks. So, it felt like everything was aligning then. And it still feels like that even today. And we're talking about almost 2 years later. For an example, let's go over to a few things after this, right? Number one was the value, right? So they were trying to calculate the value of, XRP if we captured 10% of the $1 quadrillion market. Now we're just talking about 1 quadrillion. If we're talking about 1.2, then it would be 120 trillion. But if XRP processes $100 trillion worth of value and its current market cap is 34.9 billion, that was at the time that this was actually written, then the market cap of XRP would need to increase by approximately 2,865 times. Using the current price of XRP, which is at the time that this was written 66 cents, we can estimate the potential price of XRP if it were to process 10% of the derivatives market to be about roughly $1,896. That would still be the same price today, even if we did calculate it, but the overall gain would be different because of how high XRP is currently. But the question is, could this become a reality? Because does it simply just go by, the value aspect of it? Well, one XRP could be used multiple times, so we have to calculate for that. But the thing to focus on here is not so much what one XRP would equal at that time. It's more so how much, because again, 10%, 100 trillion. If XRP was processing 100 trillion, imagine how much XRP would be burned. Because there's been a significant amount of XRP burned over the years, but the amount that XRP has moved is nowhere close to 100 trillion. I mean, I don't even think XRP has moved 1 trillion, let alone 100 trillion. But if it did, could we account for like 10 billion of the supply being burned? We don't know exactly how much would be burned at that time, but I do think that as we do start to get into like the potential, $1 trillion plus amount moved per year, a lot more XRP would be burned, which means a higher upside potential would definitely be there, because one of the biggest arguments is that the supply of XRP limits its upside, especially even in terms of like market cap. So I do think that that's the number one thing to focus on here, not so much, oh, if it captures this percentage of the derivatives market, it would be worth this much. Even though, yeah, those discussions are always heavily talked about, but it's mainly for clickbait. But outside of this, we also have over here from Ripple going back to August of 2023. Again, this is just almost like a month after we've been hearing about them, joining the ISDA and derivatives. We have finance leaders believe that tokenization will make a significant impact across sectors, trading, tokenized assets, stocks and bonds, real estate, derivatives, and carbon markets. So this was a big discussion. But you might be questioning, Nick, why are you bringing this all back up? Like, why are we talking about this now? It's 2024. Well, it's because of this. So, January 20th, 2025, Bloomberg Crypto, Trump has selected junior CFTC Commissioner Caroline Pham as acting chair of the Swaps and Derivatives Regulator. Let's take a step back real quick. Why is this important? Well, I made a video using Caroline Pham's discussions. She actually has a video. There's a video clip in here where she's talking about a triple black swan event, things like that, in terms of like a clearinghouse failure, stuff like that, whatever. The full focus of this was actually talking about DLT in capital markets, DLT being utilized in derivatives as well. And, this is when we start to really focus on Caroline. Now, full transparency, we've been hearing her name for a very long time, since going all the way back to 2022. Just for, reference for you guys that don't know, back in September of 2022, she actually stopped by Ripple Labs. She met with Brad Garlinghouse. She, did a tour of Ripple. And the CFTC for a while there was like the main ones to focus on, because the SEC wasn't doing anything. We were looking for Congress or the CFTC to actually bring about regulations for crypto. And I still think that that's going to be the case. But this is very important, because it's not just about her, becoming the chair. It's the fact that the CFTC has always been focused on U.S. derivatives. For an example, under their mission statement, the mission of the Commodity Futures Trading Commission is to promote the integrity, resilience, and vibrancy of the U.S. derivatives markets through sound regulation. Okay? Their vision statement is to be the global standard for sound derivatives regulation. So if we're thinking about this, okay, number one, the derivatives market. Every single financial market out there is going through a significant change, where it's ultimately adopting next generation technology, i.e. DLT, blockchain, AI, you name it. But what I find very interesting about this is the timeline. Okay, so we know that she met with Brad Garlinghouse. She did a tour of Ripple Labs. She's very well, involved with Ripple. She knows what they're doing. She understands the business model, whatever. We also know that 2025 is going to be the year where we potentially have regulations for crypto. We also have a lot of executive orders potentially coming for crypto as well. That's going to open up a ton of doors of opportunity in the US. We also know that Ripple has been gaining a lot of exposure in the US because of this new administration that's pro-crypto. We also know that the SEC has said goodbye to Gary Gensler, and now we have a pro-SEC chair as well. So it kind of feels like things are about to move very fast around the regulatory side of things. Now, I bring that up because also with Caroline D. Pham, who has supported Ripple, has many conversations with Ripple as well. They actually shared a stage as well in terms of Caroline and also Brad Garlinghouse on multiple conferences. I bring this all up because they focus on US derivatives at the same exact time that Bitstamp is now also building a derivatives exchange on the XRP ledger and being acquired by Robinhood in 2025, which is crazy. Bitstamp put out a post on December 20th saying XRP is going to make history next year, 2025. And we know that this derivatives exchange is happening this year. At the same exact time that it seems as though the US market for crypto is about to become regulated, at the same exact time that the actual commission that is fully focused on the US derivatives markets is also now getting a chairman or chairwoman, if you will, um, who knows about Ripple, who has, ultimately, I would say supported Ripple. Because even if we go over here to subjective views, recent video that he posted, this goes back to January 6th. This is Caroline D. Pham, by the way, discussing the Global Markets Advisory Committee, their digital assets taxonomy. And this is very interesting. So we have, why don't we say that a utility token is not a security and move on? This is Caroline D. Pham discussing the Global Markets Advisory Committee's digital assets taxonomy as the first crypto asset regulatory construct for America. This is the way for the US to catch up to the rest of the world with regards to regulations. She also speaks about a settlement asset, preferably a bearer instrument that runs 24/7 in order to be able to modernize financial market infrastructure. Now, mind you, she was a commissioner at the CFTC during this time, the same CFTC that is the one overlooking the US derivatives market. Check this out.
Experts there. So I'll talk about the Digital Asset Markets Subcommittee, and thank you so much for your service. Everybody contributes, volunteers their time and their resources of their firms. It's really tremendous that we have people who are still so willing, even a challenging regulatory environment, to participate, to contribute. And what we've done so far is we've done the first ever US digital asset taxonomy. And the idea behind this was because so many other countries in the world have already made these advancements in creating regulatory constructs for crypto assets. Singapore, of course, being one of the first ones, Japan as well, MiCA in Europe, but also we now have the FSB that has international standards for crypto assets. So we need to catch up in the United States. And this is really a tool to make sure that we're all speaking the same language when we're talking about digital assets. And it would help to bridge that gap between the current level of understanding in the United States and where the rest of the world was. It's a guide to help be a resource to US policymakers as we think about alignment, because these are inherently global markets. This technology is borderless. And that's the beauty of it, because it creates access at low cost, connectivity, peer-to-peer, between the furthest points on the globe. And that's miraculous. That is really a value add to public society. Some of the other work streams that I'm very excited about, they just did a recommendation on the tokenization of non-cash collateral. As people think about the efficiencies of using blockchain technology to modernize financial market infrastructure, markets, for example, 24/7 trading, right? You need a settlement asset, preferably a bearer instrument, that can move 24/7. And as we all know, the cash leg of transactions, banks, payment, sending money around the world doesn't move in real time. So this recommendation would allow for US Treasury money market funds, tokenized, to be pledged as non-cash collateral for the derivatives markets. And I think this is really going to open up institutional adoption, because if we think about blockchain technology in our traditional financial markets, I think the killer app is actually collateral management. It's kind of boring, it's really important. Then the other two work streams that are exciting, so we had a presentation from our utility token work stream. In a nutshell, again, around the world, there's a definition of utility tokens. People understand this is a token that provides access to goods and services. Think about rewards points for hotels, for your airlines, customer loyalty programs, fan club programs for your favorite sports team, for your favorite artist. Those are commercial activities. Those aren't stocks. Those should not be subject to regulation. A commercial marketplace like eBay or Amazon that is peer-to-peer, nobody thinks that that should be regulated like the New York Stock Exchange. So why don't we say a utility token is not a security and move on?
So there you guys have it. And again, she does hint on the fact that derivatives, all of this, literally everything that we're talking about here, is going to change. The entire financial market as we know it, everything about finance, is going to be modernized. And it's all going to be through DLT blockchain. And this is why we constantly focus on, how far ahead Ripple is in terms of the competition, but also how XRP can benefit these markets. We know liquidity 24/7 trading is huge. XRP hits home on both of those stages. The XRP ledger itself as a DLT extremely efficient. We know you can move billions of dollars, very low cost, very fast, very efficient. When we think about how everything has been aligning, obviously it's not just going to be Ripple that benefits here, but we know that Ripple is going to be one of those names. We know that Ripple, since going all the way back to that lawsuit, I mean, joining the ISDA, joining the BIS, being involved in a lot of these PDF files, these documents as well, it's very clear to me that, you know, all of this, you even look at these meetings at points in time that is just so crazy to me. Like, this is back in 2022, middle of the lawsuit. Then just 3 months later, Ripple was able to come on the FSB global regulatory, harmonization outlook with the FSB, with the IMF, the BIS, the World Bank, I believe, and that's with the G20 involved. But they were in the middle of a lawsuit. This is prior to XRP even being cleared as not a security. Like, it's just shocking to me how all of this is aligned perfectly almost. And the timeline is just, it's crazy. It really is crazy. So as we do focus on what happened here with Caroline D. Pham, I think that this is actually very bullish for Ripple and even XRP. And I do think that we're kind of seeing a path cleared to having the derivatives market innovate it through DLT and, digital currency technology. And I think that Ripple and XRP are definitely at the forefront, especially in the US. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.